Morning everyone, thanks everyone tuning in again. Someone gave me a brilliant tip on them EcoFits yesterday. Said don't take the burner off until you're going to take the heat exchanger out, and take it all off as one. Use the fan as like a handle. And now he said that you don't have to scrabble around trying to get them bolts undone at the top of the heat exchanger. Just makes so much sense. I don't know why I thought that. Didn't think of that myself. But yeah, that really helped out. So just pulled up my first job, and it doesn't really say much, and I couldn't really make head nor tails of it with the customer either. So I said, look, let me just come around, let's have a look and see what's going on. So we'll get in there and have a look. Right, so just been in there. I've just had to come out and get my step because I'm such a shorty. These little steps, I don't know how much that was, a $5 or something like that, so handy for just getting up a little bit higher because I need longer legs. But basically it's just a stuck zone valve, so I'm just going to free it off and it should be sorted. Right, so you can see it's seized, so I need to free it up. Need 2 hands. Right, so a quick easy one there really, just trying to ascertain what the actual problem was because it wasn't making much sense. But yeah, basically the heating was on all the time because that zone valve body was stuck, so I freed that off, got it all lubricated, it's all working lovely. And then found other problems as well, nothing major, just the programmer had been set wrong, so it's showing the 1st of November 2028. Which is not a major deal, but also the times were way wrong as well. It was saying 12:45 when it's only like 8 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, so I've adjusted that and now the schedule works lovely. Set it up for them as well, so how they want it, and yeah, they can just use the boost as they want and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all working nicely. So on to the next one. This job is the gift that keeps on giving. So somebody come around, didn't even change that for. Right, I'll isolate the other side and then come here, find it's a TRV, just with, I don't know how that was ever going to work. And then find out it's absolutely pouring out as well, so I need a lock shield on there. What a joke. I don't know how people get away with it, I really don't. Oh. Just going to drain out the pressure. There's no drain, I'll send you there. So, put the pressure out, just let it run into there. Get this out undone. Perfect, just use the plumb thumb. This is one of the jobs you just wonder how people get away with it. Like, you know, someone's been here, they're saying that they keep on topping up the pressure, and they've got two valves leaking on one rod. Just, I mean, and he came and looked at it, didn't even do nothing with it. Just amazes me. Right, now I can get onto the actual boiler because it's got problems on the boiler. So we'll get started here. Right, so I've got pressure back in it. I'm going to have to go and bleed the whole house because that was downstairs. I noticed it was only on for hot water only. It wasn't in the right mode either. It was only hot water only. As you can see, there's been loads of problems in the past, I think. Looks like it's had a whole new diverter block and all that sort of stuff in the past. What else? Seems to be okay other than that. Just old signs of leaks. So I'll leave it running and see how we get on. Right, what I'll do some analyzer readings, just make sure everything's okay. But yeah, that leak was fixed last time. Somebody came and feed back in November. Hope it's not me, but these rods go in here pain. Right, so I've got another sticking zone valve. I just want to show you how far you can go down with it. You can go even further than that, really. Bring it up, push it back up again. There we go, lovely and free. Right, so we've got a Megaflow here. Let's just run over a few pipes for the newbies and stuff like that, people that don't know. So this is your temperature pressure relief valve. So you have a little rod that goes in there that detects the temperature. So when it gets over the set temperature, where is it there? So 90 to 95 degrees, this would automatically open up, but also with the pressure as well, it would open up. And you can follow it down here, links into the sun dish, and then goes to outside through this drain pipe down here, which runs outside. Also, you've got your combination valve. So this is the way in of your cold mains. So if you wanted to isolate it, you can isolate it from here. This is your pressure reducing valve. This is your PRV, pressure relief. It's set to 8 bar, okay? And again, it's linked in. It's not done completely right, obviously, because it's not in line with the sun dish and all that sort of stuff, but it's been there for years. This is your cold inlet. And you see they've teed up here into a filling loop, and that's how you fill up your heating. And as you can see, that's linked in to your return back to the boiler, so follow that. This is your radiator return, link up here and back up into the boiler. This is your flow. As you can see, you've got heating zone valve, hot water zone valve, and that is linked in to your flow here. Okay, so that is just basically, and then we've got a gas pipe that runs along there. And that is just basically a rundown. And if you ever get one of these where you're constantly losing water from the ton dish down here, you can follow these steps on here. Anybody can do this, and you can prevent that, because you'll be reinstating the air gap in the hot water cylinder. Okay, so once the water heats up, this air gap becomes too little, and then it gets to a point where there's nothing, so it has to open up as a safety. So then you just be reintroducing that again, and then it would allow for that air gap in the cylinder. Hope that helps anybody new. Right, so I'm here to look at no hot water or a hot water issue. As you can see, there was a previous little issue before the electrodes were changed by somebody else. Okay, so we need to check this diverter. Make sure it's motoring. So the boiler's fired straight away. Leave it running and see what the temperature does as well. Right, as you can see, it's sitting there nicely. It's not moving, it's not changing. So what I'm going to do is put the heating on and see if it motors, and then see if it motors back as well after. So you can see it's up at the minute. So there we go, you can see that's moved down now. And now, temperature's coming around the flow. We give it a demand and see if it comes back up. Right, there you go, straight away it's popped straight back up. So we'll check it again a few times. Right, in there again. It's dropped back down again. So we know the diverter's working. It's definitely getting a demand. It's definitely working as it should. It's not overheating. So I don't think there's a problem here. I think it could be, because I keep complaining about showers, so it could be a shower fault. Right, so I'm checking it for about the 8th time, and the diverter's moving as it should. This is hot water on, and it doesn't seem to be doing anything wrong. Right, so somebody was here a little while ago, and I've got a feeling that the heat exchanger could be coked up in the fins, in the middle. So I've got, I mean, I just read his paperwork and it said it was at -1 bar of pressure for the fan pressure test. So I think it's just that the heat can't get through quick enough, because it's, you know, it's coming out and it's heating up, but it's not where I want it to be, if you know what I mean. So I've got a feeling the heat exchanger might need to be replaced on this one. You know, cleaned out, whatever, but cleaning out, I've not always had the best of luck with it. Right, so yeah, on that one I've concluded that it's going to be the main heat exchangers blocked. So I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to try and clean it all out, but I'm also going to come back with a new heat exchanger as well, because I've had trouble in the past. I've tried to clean them all out, trying to get my brush in there and the little file and all that sort of stuff, and it's not made any difference. So especially if it's not been serviced and all that sort of stuff properly, which I can imagine it probably hasn't been, then it's going to be absolutely caked up in there. So I was looking in the instructions, I was looking for around about -3.9. I was getting -1, -3.9 plus. I was getting -1, so it's well blocked. So yeah, I've got a feeling that it's just not able to ramp up to where it was. Asked the customer as well about the radiators, and they said that yeah, they're kind of like lukewarm. I noticed that even when I did put the heating on, it wasn't ramping up. It was getting sort of 38-40 degrees, wasn't able to go to full fire. So yeah, that's, you know, so tomorrow you'll be following me on that one as well. So yeah, we'll try and clean it all out and all that sort of stuff, and then change it over. So let's get to the next one. I've missed a couple today because they've just been 2 ports, and you know, no one needs to see that. I've done loads of videos on them, so I'm trying to keep it as fresh as I can. Right, so yeah, I just went to another one there. Radiator in the bedroom stopped working, and I basically just found that it was down to this really. It was it just was pushing down on it, even though it doesn't look broken, and it actually moves up and down inside the actual body. If I can do it, yeah, you can actually see that it does move, but it's just, yeah, it was just pushing it just enough to stop it from working. So I've put a new Drayton head on there, and all good. So she's happy, that's the main thing. So yeah, we'll go to another one now. Right, so just at this one here, and the customer's complaining that sometimes the hot water doesn't come on. And recently she did have somebody stay over, or people stay over Christmas time. So I'm suspecting that potentially it could be because, you know, if someone's having a shower and they run a tap, then it's not going to run the two. That's what I'm suspecting, only just by what I've been told. Obviously the pressure's a tiny little bit low. So give that a quick top up, and we'll see what goes on. Actually, another thing I have just noticed is that this dial is down very, very low. You see the rad is right up high. You can see how much water I've literally been running this for about 30 seconds now. It's still only just, you know, getting up there, but that ain't gonna help. Right, so I've got the tap on, and you can see there that the diverter motor, well, the diverter is up at the top. If it pulls down, that's when it goes into heating. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fill this here, and also I'm going to fill the flow pipe, see if it's passing down there. Okay, so yeah, it is, it's passing down. Okay, yeah, it's passing, I think. Temperature's getting up as well to like 80, 82. Okay, so the plate's blocked. Yeah, that flow pipe's getting absolutely roasting. So what's happening, for anybody who doesn't know, is that it's through the plate. It can't go through the plate properly, so it goes through the bypass, which is up the back, the little copper one up the back there, and that bypass then goes and drops down here. Yeah, it's absolutely roasting hot now. And there you go, clear sign of it. 93, 94, 95, boiler's gone off because it's overheated. Alright, so we'll drain it down and change the plate. Right, so what I'm going to start off with is flow, return, if I can get on there, and the cold mains. Once we've got them done, then can drain it down and obviously the mains, because we're going to need that on that side. So I'm sure you all know, whack it on there into your little bucket. Right, so best thing to do is pop the motor out and then just wiggle the lever, and then that will let out all the water. There we go, so I'm just pushing down on it, and as you can see, draining out, and I'll do the vessel as well. As expected, nothing in there, so you can hear all the gurgling, you can see it's still draining, so loads of water coming out. Right, so what this helps you do is to drain the boiler, so you're not going to be dealing with all them glugs of water. And you think this vessel probably holds, what, 12 litres? So it's 12 litres of water you got in there that you're going to have to contend with. So at least if I do it this way, then it's going to be at least fully drained down as best I can get it. So yeah, we can start getting that plate out now. Right, so now what we're going to do is get this hot outlet pipe. Now, because we've got the cold off, this can come out, and this is going to be our access into getting that plate out through there, hopefully. As you can see, just a little bit of water, just what's left in the plate and stuff. Now I've put towels here because we are going to get water coming out no matter what, whatever's left in that plate. So now I'm going to get the screws off. Right, so in here we've got this screw here. And then there's another one down the back here, if you can see it. Yep, so it's just down there, that little silver one. What I normally do is I slacken them off just enough, just so you can hear the air coming in. And hopefully what that'll do is let any air in and let anything out that's trapped in there as well through the PRV. So yeah, we'll wait for that to slow down or stop. Right, so you will get a bit of water that will come out, whatever's trapped in there. Now, what this does, this gives us enough chance to get a hand up the back. And you'll probably be able to see my hand up the back here. Then we can pull this plate out away. And then that's out then. And obviously, yeah, there's the excess water. There we go. So, yeah, there you can see, we've got the hot pipe over. Hopefully that should allow enough room to get this out through that gap. Now we'll just need two hands, but yeah, you can see it is going to come. There you go, so you can see it's coming out nicely. So now what I'll do is I'll get my hand up inside and I'll feel for the plastic. Let's see if I can get one out. There's one just falling out. Oh, yeah, I'll get all those four out. You can see how blocked up it is. I think I can even feel it. Inside there, all the little, yeah, feel all the shards in there. Lovely. Right, so the new washers, we just want to lube up. Now, I'm pretty sure on these plates, yeah, so it comes with a bottom on there, written on there, but they don't always come with that. So I just want to say, like this arrow here, or this sort of like funny pattern, you can see it's slightly different to the other side. That goes on your left hand side, on the return side, so that's just one way of knowing where to go. Right, so I've slid the new one up inside, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get it up and I'm going to slot it in. There we go, so they're both in now. So then I need two hands now, and I'm just going to hold it with one hand and screw it up with the other. There we go, so just tightening up this side, and the other side is partially tight. Sorry, trying to do it for a camera. It's not the one. Definitely not the one. So yeah, get that tightened in. And then what I'll do after that is I'll do the mains first. So at least then I know it's watertight, and then I can start filling it up. Oh yeah, and I always make this mistake, and I won't today, is that I always forget to put this back in, which is the hot outlet. So if I do put the mains on, it's just going to come flying straight out. So yeah, definitely make sure that's done up first. Right, so let's get this mains on and see if water comes flying out. Hopefully it won't. There we go, lovely. So you had the water go in. That's it, all nice and dry. Right, close off the drain off. Now put the motor back in. There we go. And now we can just open up these valves. There you go, there's a bit of water going in. And a bit more. So we'll see where that is. So that's still very low, so I'll get some pressure in. Well, it's a very big house, this one, absolutely huge, so yeah, it's going to take a little while to fill. Yeah, and we'll just get that done. Should be all good, can't see any water flying out underneath. That's a winner already. Lovely, so get the power on, and then I'll start venting the pump and make sure it's all running well. Right, so we've got it on, fill back up again, I'll top it up a little bit more because I've just vented the pump, and we'll just see what happens really. Right, so it's all running nicely, it's been sitting here 58, 59, which is absolutely perfect, good temperature coming out of the taps, and the flow pipe is nice and cool, doesn't seem to be passing down there, so yeah, I think we're all good. I'll just leave it running and make sure the customer's happy. Right, so it's been running for about 5 or so minutes. No leaks, there's just a little bit of excess water on that PRV handle there that will wipe off in a second, but there's definitely no leaks. And again, still sitting comfortably, it's been on for about 10 minutes, so very happy. Right, so now I've just given it a hot heating demand, just so I can run it through and just make sure it's all working fine for the lady. But yeah, very happy, seems to be working absolutely lovely.